Hi guys, I'm so glad you are here and I'm so happy you're joining me today, and welcome to my new YouTube channel, Hair by Rachel Shad. All of this started out as an Instagram account that was going to basically show you my journey through cosmetology school to promote my business. However, now that I am behind the chair and taking guests, I am realizing that there is a need for further education for our guests so that they have a better understanding of like the reasons why I tell them things or like the products I recommend, that sort of thing. Sometimes you just don't have time in the salon to tell them all the background knowledge so that they fully understand, or sometimes I forget or I'm interrupted, and basically there's just more information for you guys so that you can better understand. And that's kind of what I want to use this YouTube channel as to give you guys some longer form content with more details. I will be breaking them down into like the smaller bite-sized chunks in like reels and like pictures on my Instagram, so you can go ahead and follow that if you want. And I'm so glad you're here, and let's get into it. So today's topic is going to be about hair color, specifically the 3 different types that I do in the salon, or the main 3 types out there, on how to take care of those, the maintenance for them, and then hopefully by the end of this video you will know how to take care of your specific type of hair color. You will understand why your hair color acts the way it does. You'll understand why your hairstylist is suggesting certain products and all of that. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we are going over hair color. So starting out with the 3 hair colors, there are going to be permanent, demi-permanent, and semi-permanent. Beginning with the permanent, it is right in the name. It is the most permanent. It is basically, we take a color and we take a chemical, which is called the developer. We mix them together and it's a stronger chemical, so it kind of lifts your hair. Your hair has a shell on it called the cuticle. When you mix that chemical in there, it lifts the shell, deposits that, kind of lifts your base hair color that's under the shell, and then it deposits that color, so you get that color that you want on there, and then the shell kind of seals itself back up over time and you get permanent hair color sealed in there. I personally use permanent hair color on my gray coverage. They need permanent. That's pretty much the only kind that fully covers grays. And then I also use permanent colors for like if somebody who never gets their hair done and they like have brown roots and they want to match those roots and then never be in a salon again. That's kind of a situation, but for the most part I mostly use it on grays. And then the benefits, of course, are that it's gray coverage and that lasts the longest. The negatives are if you are somebody who did like that all over permanent color, and you decided to switch it up and become like blonde highlights again, it can sometimes be difficult to lift through that, and it might not get you as bright as you want to be. So then getting into the next one, we have the demi. Demis are what people are referring to when it's like a gloss toner, your ends refreshed when you're getting like a root touch up. Now the demi is going to be, we're mixing a color with another chemical, but it's kind of a lighter, not a strong chemical. So like it lifts the cuticles so it gets under there and stays around a while. It just doesn't alter like the base of your hair color. So therefore like it will wash out. It eventually kind of like fades out with time, but I'm talking like, depending on how often you wash and stuff, I'm talking like 3 months plus is when you really feel like, wow, my hair color's gone. And that leads us into our next one. It's called a semi, and semi-permanent colors are going to be like your rainbow colors, think pink, purple, blue, that kind of thing. You're not natural colors. And those are going to be obviously used for fun colors. Generally, they're paired with bleaching. You can't have a semi-permanent hair color really sit on hair that hasn't been touched. It will wash out right away, and that's because semi-permanent colors are just going to be the color, there's no chemical mixed in, so therefore it never lifts that like shield. It just kind of sits on the outside of your hair. That's why you hear a lot of times that it washes out right away, and that's because the color is only sitting on the outside of the hair. The benefits are obviously you get unnatural looking hair, unnatural, but it's like the fun colors, you know, not just your general brown. But the negative side is in fact that it does wash out right away, and generally you have to pair it with bleaching. So now that we have a little background knowledge on the colors, this is generally some steps that you want to use after you get a color service done, and that is going to be, the first thing is do not wash your hair within the first 24 to 48 hours. As I mentioned, you have a chemical that's lifting the little shield, the cuticle on your hair, and then it eventually kind of seals that color in. The problem is if you wash it too soon, sometimes that cuticle doesn't have a chance to close all the way, and you can fade out your color faster because washing it too soon. The next thing, once you do finally wash, I suggest you invest in a color safe shampoo and conditioner. This is obviously just going to extend the life of your color, and you just invested some good money into getting your hair done. Why not protect that investment with the proper tools? Then once we're washed, we're ready to style. Well, at this point, we are going to want to use a heat protectant and a lower temperature on our hot tools. Higher your temperature goes on your hair, and the less you use heat protectant, the more it can alter your hair color, as well as damage your hair. And then the last thing is that the more you wash your hair, the faster it will fade out, especially with those vivid colors. The less you wash your hair, the better for your color. Okay, so that was like a generalized how to take care of your hair, especially like right after getting the color service. Now we're gonna get into like specifics. So with permanent hair color, it's pretty generalized still. It obviously lasts the longest, and so you're gonna just want, your basics are to use that Color Protect shampoo and conditioner to lower the heat setting on your hot tools and use a heat protectant. And then of course, the less you wash, the slower it will fade out. And then the maintenance for permanent hair color is going to be, generally the ones who are getting the maintenance are the grays. So as fast as your hair grows in. So generally it's like 4 to 6 weeks when people want to get that gray touched up and covered again. Then with the demis, so specifically this is kind of like tailored to the blondes or brunettes that have like the caramel highlights through them. This is how I kind of break it down. So, and you have the demis, so it's not as permanent. And it does fade out eventually. So as I put it, as in the first 5 weeks, you should be letting your toner do its job and not using your purple or blue shampoos. In the first 5 weeks, your toner should last. If you are walking out too warm, you need to let your stylist know they need to be using a cooler toner on you, because you should not feel the need to leave the salon, go home, and immediately put purple shampoo or blue shampoo to cool it down. Their toners and gloss are color. You should be using a color safe shampoo and conditioner to protect that. Then when we start getting into like the 6 to 8 week mark, that's when you might start seeing the warmth. Your colors might start fading out. Most of the problem, especially around where we are, is minerals in the water, metals, that kind of thing, building up in your hair. So I always suggest get a clarifying shampoo. I like shampoo too, Paul Mitchell shampoo too, to remove the buildup. And then I definitely feel especially when I had the bright blonde hair, that definitely took away the buildup and I felt blonder. So use a clarifying shampoo to actually get like those metals that are usually causing the actual warmth in your hair, to get those out. And then follow that up with the conditioning hair mask or a hydrating conditioner, like it's focused on hydrating your hair, because generally those like clarifying shampoos can be rather drying. And then if you're washing 1 to 2 times a week, I would use it every other week. If you're washing 3 or more times a week, then you could probably get away with using it once a week. But again, follow that clarifying shampoo up with a moisturizing mask or conditioner. And then if we are going beyond like the 8 week mark, if we're like an 8 to 12, if we're coming in like every 3 months, your balayage services, if you're doing that, that is when I would say you should invest in your purple shampoo, blue shampoo. And you should only be using it like once a week. If you're washing once or twice a week, if you're washing once or twice a week, you should be using it every other week. If you're washing 3 or more times a week, you should be using it like once a week. And that's because they can be so hit or miss. A lot of times people aren't buying professional. When they are, even if they're using professional, they put it on like splotchy. So in some spots you still have the yellow, in some spots you have purple hair or blue hair, because you like heavy toned in one spot and didn't hit the other spot. And then also usually they have like a lot of sulfates and they're rather drying. And if you're somebody who has blonde or highlights throughout, your hair is usually already on the drier side. So you don't really want to use those every day. If you are washing like once or twice a week, I would say use it every other week and follow it up with that hydrating mask or conditioner. And then if you are somebody who washes like 3 or more times a week, I would use it once a week. And again, follow it up with that heavy moisture conditioner or hair mask. But yeah, and then so maintenance for the blondes, generally you're coming in every 4 to 12 weeks, depending on how blonde you are. So then that leads us to our final one, the care for the semi-permanent color. Again, those are the rainbow fashion fun colors, whatever you want to call it. For you guys, we get into more detail because like I said earlier, the color does not penetrate deep into the hair and therefore it doesn't stick around much. So when you guys get your hair color, you should be trying to go 6 days. I'm talking, you want to wash your hair once a week. When you do wash your hair, cold water. That cuticle can be opened by hot water and heat. So you want to use cold water so it's not opening, so it's like hanging on to as much color as possible. And then of course, color safe shampoo and conditioner always when you have those fun colors. And then your maintenance for those fun colors, like I said, it's probably every 4 to 6 weeks you're coming in to get those colors refreshed because they do wash out so fast. Luckily for you guys, as those fun colors become more popular, they are making like color depositing shampoos and conditioner. But again, those colors are going to be a lot more maintenance and you're coming in every 4 to 6 weeks. We're going to round this up with the products I would use when you have permanent color, and that's going to be your basic color safe shampoo, a color safe conditioner, and heat protectant if you're using hot tools. If you are a blondie and you are using the demi colors, if you're coming in every 1 to 5 weeks, I would say you need that color safe shampoo, color safe conditioner, a heat protectant, and perhaps a hair mask. If you are coming every 6 to 8 weeks, then I would say you are going to invest in a color safe shampoo and conditioner and a heat protectant. That's going to be like your everyday, every wash thing. And then your once a week, every other week is going to be your clarifying shampoo and perhaps a hair mask or a hydrating focused conditioner. And then if you're going like the 8 to 12 weeks, somewhere in there, you're going to invest in all of those things: the color safe shampoo, the color safe conditioner, a heat protectant, a clarifying shampoo. And then whether you're blonde or brunette, if you're a brunette and have orange, you want blue. And if you are a blonde and see yellow, you're going to want purple. So that is kind of a wrap. I hope you guys learned something from this video. I hope you found this valuable. That's kind of the whole purpose behind all of this. So I wish you guys a wonderful day. I'm so glad you are here. I look forward to seeing you in about 3 weeks when we drop our next video. And like I said before, if this was a lot of information, you can't wait to hear more about it, give me a follow on Instagram. It's also Hair by Rachel Shad. Love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Have a great hair day.